Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be going into the Amazon tool deals and checking out some of the items that I've found for this week. All of these items will be linked down in the description for you guys with their own independent links, so they're easy to find. Then you'll find two additional links that say tools and tools continued. That's going to take you to a long list of tools that I've went over in the past or other tools that I suggest. So first up on this week's list is the Wen 4208 Tango. It's the 2.3 amp 8-inch 5-speed cast iron benchtop drill press. It's a drill press from Wen. Wen is a brand that is definitely known for cheaper tools, and a lot of the times you can find from other brands. But I can tell you one thing, I've bought a couple of Wen products over a couple of name brand products and been extremely pleased with them. Now, when you buy Wen, 80-90% of the time, don't expect, if you're buying something that you're going to be using constantly on an everyday basis or a fairly often basis, that's not what Wen is. Wen is kind of your more affordable DIY or weekend warrior type of work. Maybe you're a hobbyist in woodwork, or you just do some custom work every now and then, like when I did custom work on my dash in the Camaro. And there's few areas where I've made each one of my vehicles that I've ever owned kind of custom to myself. It's kind of a one-off, and I try to do custom little things, and these types of tools come in handy because it's not a tool that I'm going to be using all the time, so I don't need to go out and spend $400-$500 on something like this. I just need something that will help me do the job. Having these more special tools is just handy for those situations that you don't plan on having come up, but having the tool and then being able to accomplish that job is really nice, especially if you can get by with something that is affordable like this. This is at $100 down from a typical price of $107.08. So it is on a pretty decent sale right now. And if you're just somebody that needs a drill press or a bench grinder or a rotary tool or a belt sander, I think Wen is a good one. I've had good experiences with them. Now, I obviously have not used all of their stuff, but like I said, they're not top of the line stuff. But if you're just somebody looking for something affordable, this is just a brand that I've had good experiences with for the price of the item. And I think this is a good deal. Now, keep in mind, they do have many different ones of each of their tools. Whether you're looking at bench grinders or drill presses or whatever it may be, they have multiple different ones. This is just one. They have much larger ones, much more advanced ones. This one at $100 I don't think is bad at all. Here's a little bit of the information right here if you'd like to pause and read that. Here you can see some of their lineup. You get lights built into them. Just a wide variety and a wide price range, just depending kind of what you're looking for. So just something I wanted to quickly mention, one of the brands that if it's a tool that I'm not going to be using very often but I want to have on hand, Wen is usually one of them that I'll check out unless it has a lot of bad reviews or something along those lines. This has 4.6 stars at 9,061 ratings, so it is rated pretty highly and rated a lot. Next up is a brand that I found, I don't know, maybe a year ago, Bilitools. And surprisingly enough, when I first found them, there weren't a whole lot of options. They didn't offer a whole lot, but what they did have was pretty unique because they're in the automotive kind of area, but they actually have quite a few specialty items that you don't find from even some of the, I wouldn't say name brand, but the more popular like Amazon ones. And Bilitools seems to offer a pretty decent variety. So if you're looking for some of these specialty tools that like maybe don't have a lot of moving parts, I think Bilitools is a good one to consider. This one's at $60 down from a typical price of $63, so a few dollars in savings. This has 4.7 stars at 158 ratings, so rated pretty highly, not rated a whole lot yet. This does have a 5% coupon, but this is just a simple bearing press kit. It's a 43-piece set, race and steel driver installer, and so you got quite a decent variety. This is a much bigger variety than the Harbor Freight one that I have, that I don't know if that's like a 12-piece set or what. It's covered anything I believe I've needed it to in the past, but if you're one that may work with many different sizes. Like I work primarily automotive, so not anything super heavy duty or anything like that. So like that kit that I have covers basically everything I need. But let's say you work on, you know, small engine repair or lawnmowers in general, or smaller trailers, things like that, or maybe even items smaller than that where you're dealing with small bearings and things. Like this is going to, I believe, have you covered. This has got a pretty decent variety here. So there, one thing I will say, this one uses an O-ring style connection to hold it in place instead of like Bilitools does have your more standard design set as well, or normal size set, where it does have the threaded bolt that goes through and holds it to the actual handle. I didn't even realize they had multiple different, I guess that makes sense when you move down to some of the smaller ones. So you have multiple different handles depending on the piece that you're actually using. So they do have one with the threaded portion for some of your larger. There you can see some of the sizes that are included and some more. So I mean, it's a pretty decent size set. And then there are the 4 handles for the tools, 3 of them using O-rings and then 1 using the bolt. But I was actually surprised just looking through some of Bilitools stuff. They have good prices that, you know, compare to a lot of the other ones that you may find on Amazon, but they also carry things that a lot of these other brands do not carry. And I thought this was one interesting one because it's a pretty decent sized little set. Not a whole lot of experience with Bilitools, just a brand that I came across a while back. Here's their more, they do have a couple of your more standard size sets. So at $60 with the 5% coupon, I don't think that's a bad deal at all for this size set. Next up, we are looking at the Milwaukee 2-piece. This is the 7-inch and 10-inch curved jaw locking pliers with max bite. I've had the Milwaukee locking pliers for probably around 5 years now, and I had a cheap set of locking pliers that I did not like. What are the really nice ones? Eagle grip. There are some really nice ones out there, but at the time I didn't want to go super cheap and be disappointed like the one that I had already owned, but I also didn't want to go with like an $80 pair of locking pliers. I just needed something that was a little bit better. I was in the store, came across the Milwaukee ones. I really liked the end, the torque lock, and I like that over the knurled end. So instead of either trying to turn it with your fingers or a pair of pliers, I really like this design. You can grab it with a pair of pliers much easier. You can put a screwdriver through it. You can simply turn it with your fingers. It feels much better than your just knurled end. And the lineup was good on them. They grip really well. I haven't had any issues, and I have the 2-piece set. And now I do have the straight jaw and an open jaw like this. So not this exact set, but once again, I've been pleased with them, and they've worked very well, especially for the price. Now, if I ever have an issue with them, I probably will go out and get myself a nice set of locking pliers, because having a cheap set of locking pliers that just don't operate the way you want them to can be very frustrating and irritating. So I've been happy with these. If I ever have issues with them, I will let you guys know. But I think at $28.95, down from a list price of $50, I don't think $50, you should never buy it at that price. I don't think $29 is a fantastic deal, but I think it's a good deal. I've been happy with them. I'd pay that price for them. It also has a 10% coupon. So just make sure you double check prices of these elsewhere. That's what you should do anytime you're shopping for a tool online. Just check multiple sources to make sure you're getting the best deal, because even when you find things on sale, it doesn't mean it's a great deal. So this has 4.5 stars at a whopping 2 ratings. So this is the ICrimp crimping tool set. Now, ICrimp and iWiz are like the same company, I believe, if I remember. Yeah, like the iWiz is the store, but they have a iWiz lineup and a ICrimp lineup. I think it just depends on the type of tool that you're looking at. I owned this set back in 17-18 time frame, and I was actually really surprised with it. Came in a nice little, semi-rigid zipping case with 5 different interchangeable jaws for your crimper, and I was actually surprised with it, because even some of the name brand ones, some of their dies for their interchangeable jaws have horrible reviews, and so I wasn't sure what to expect with some of these, but I was actually surprised. I didn't have any issues with it for the year or so that I used it, but when I moved, I ended up losing it, and I don't know where it went. I haven't been able to find it since. They do include, this is the exact set that I had. I didn't really use the strippers all that much, just because I have some good quality strippers and multiple different sets. So this one just kind of stayed in the case, but I was using this when I was doing my spark plug wires and a lot of the wiring in the Camaro, and it actually did really well. And I own the Klein ratcheting crimper just like this, and honestly, it almost looks identical. If I can't find this, I may get this set again just to do a comparison of this crimper versus the Klein one that I have, just to see if there are many differences, if there are any, what they are, and how each one feels compared to each other. But like I said, the time that I did have this tool worked just fine for me, and it's very affordable, and it's nice, the variety of jaws that you get for different connectors. So like here you can see insulated, non-insulated, different sizes and styles. So there you can adjust the compression wheel, built-in quick release gear for emergency. I paid this much for just the ratcheting crimper for the Klein one, and it's not made in the USA or anything like that. And there are many other brands that sell just the ratcheting crimper that look very, very similar, if not identical. But I figure, you know, if you get a few extra jaws with these, they might not be as high quality as maybe some of the much higher end USA made ratcheting crimpers, but some of those ratcheting crimpers can be very, very expensive. And this whole set with the 5 jaws, the ratcheting crimper, the strippers, and the screwdriver, this does have 4.5 stars at 1,652 ratings at $31.88. I don't think that's a bad deal at all. Once again, there are many other brands out there that sell ratcheting crimpers like this, that if you don't want all the jaws or the strippers with it, you can probably save a little bit of money. But a lot of the time, even just the ratcheting crimper itself is, you know, $20. So I would pay the additional $10 just to have the other jaws, just in case it's something that you may use. I think it's a good deal. So please let me know your guys' thoughts. That is it as far as this week's Amazon tool deals. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to smash that thumbs up. All of these will be linked down in the description for you guys, as well as those 2 additional links. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.